Hey folks, how you all doing? Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. Now, this is a little interim video. I don't know where you guys are going to fit this into the whole itinerary of Kilt-Man videos because I don't know, I put these things out and then there's another one, then there's another one, and some people catch up with the latest ones. They've seen all those up to that point, and some people come in totally fresh and go like, oh, I'll go back over these videos. Well, just to set the record straight here, this little video here is being done purely because I have spent half the day recording a video for the film Rawhead Rex. Yeah, some of you, and this is the beauty of YouTube and the beauty of time displacement, and you go and watch it whenever the hell you want. By the time you've seen this, you may have watched the other video, but that other video right now is taking a hell of a long time to put together and then upload to YouTube. So, because that video for Rawhead Rex is longer than the movie itself. You know me, once that starts doing that kind of thing, it don't want to stop, does it, So I thought, well, because I'm in a bit of a kind of like, well, I want to talk to you guys, and I don't want you guys missing out on any kind of content or weirdness or any kind of thing which you may go, you know what, I'm going to go and rent or buy or watch Rawhead Rex. I don't want any delay in that kind of thing because I'm in that kind of momentum. So I'm sitting there now going, yeah, Rawhead Rex is awesome, but I'm now playing, as you can hear, maybe some of you know what it is. This is Ron Grainer's awesome score to 1971's second adaptation of I Am Legend, written by Richard Matheson, one of the greatest horror sci-fi fantasy novels ever. It was filmed in the 60s in Rome with, of all people, Vincent Price in a rare, straight, non-campy role. He's the last man on Earth. Everyone else has been succumbed to a plague in the novel and in the first version, and of course in the 2000s version, I Am Legend with Will Smith, which I do love as well, but for different reasons. They're vampires of a kind. The novel, they are vampires. The initial Rome version with Vincent Price is vampires. This version with Charlton Heston, a guy who has been the Messiah. He's been Ben-Hur. He's been Moses. This guy is just, biblical. Plagues and the end of the world. The last man that we can all turn to. Charlton Heston. He plays Robert Neville, the guy that has possibly the way beyond the plague, which has taken over the world and turned him into, in this version, which is called the Omega Man. Some year ago, like the Omega Man, whatever, from 1971. And this is the version I love most of all. As a child growing up, this really made an indelible mark on me. I've since obviously seen and loved the Vincent Price version, which is very, very faithful to Richard Matheson's original novel, which it is. It's very close. Brilliant. It's a brilliant film, black and white and genuinely atmospheric, and really follows the story perfectly well. The Will Smith version, which is lovely. I say lovely because he has the German Shepherd dog called Sam, which is actually Samantha because it's a female. It's a bitch. And I reviewed that movie for AV Forums when the film first came out, and then various versions that came out on home video. I reviewed all those, and I always said that at the end of the world, I had a German Shepherd dog at the time called Pepper, a huge beast of a dog, an incredible animal, and loved her. My she was my best friend and soulmate, and she died. And in the film with Will Smith, I Am Legend, his dog dies in his arms, as my dog died in my arms, literally over there, just over there. But this wasn't meant to be like a big sort of, confessional, but it was horrendous. So, I Am Legend, the Will Smith version, it is indelible, and I do love the movie. It's not the same as the novel, but I do love that movie for a lot of those reasons, with the whole canine aspect to it. And I do love the Vincent Price version, but this version, Charlton Heston, 1971, Ron Grainer's music. Jesus Christ, listen to this. It's so crazy, chaotic. The music box, listen to this. They're not vampires in that version. They are not vampires. They are albino mutants. They're people that he knows. Anthony Zerbe plays the worst. Matthias. They're all wearing sort of satanic gowns and cowls and robes. And the 1970s in American cinema and TV as well was hugely infiltrated by satanic stories, by a lot of covens and cults and devil worship. That was a big, huge, major theme in a lot of movies. Look at one of the best road race movies ever is also a devil worshipping movie. Race with the Devil. What a note. Peter Fonda. Oh my God, in their camper trailer, pursued. They've seen a ritual killing, and everywhere they go around the States, they're blocked off, and they're going to go in a big, huge, horrible circle right back to the sacrificial tree where they witnessed the sacrifice taking place, because everybody's in on it. It's ludicrous, but it's also incredibly brilliant. Now, the Omega Man, or Omega Man, 1971, is just tremendous. His submachine gun, his wearing of sort of naval attire, navy blue combat fatigues, and a naval, proper peak cap and all that. Like, it's what's he playing at there? His eccentricity is superbly rendered by Heston. And the fact that his blood will become, the catalyst to change, the corrupted world that has taken over. And he will form, again, biblical. He will form the sacrificial Christ on the cross. He will be speared, but his blood will be the saviour of mankind. The thing that will change every other subsequent peoples to become immune to this plague. Not a vampirical plague, although blood is hugely prevalent in this story. It's because of they are just mutants. They become albino. He meets Rosalind Cash, blaxploitation girl. Rosalind Cash. He sees dummies around LA. He goes around LA, he's got his machine guns. He goes out and he stakes and kills all that he can find in their little havens, their little nests, wherever, the undead. Well, whatever they are, they're mutants, but he'll find them, stake them, kill them. And that's always been part of the story. But he'll also find that one of the mannequins moves, and it's Rosalind Cash. He finds her, and she's part of a little enclave who are immune. Well, they've held out. they've held out so far, but they may well need his infusion of blood, because his blood is what's going to save them. The blood is the life. So the vampiric theme still runs, hugely prevalent. Ron Grainer's score. This movie is horror, fantasy, sci-fi, action. It's a unique exercise in cinematic fantasy. It goes to some different degrees that no other cinema has ever done. No other movies have actually tried to get anywhere near this. The original version follows the book. The Will Smith version, it goes off on its own tangent and is exciting and frightening in its own way, and does use mannequins and does use, well, it uses the dog, obviously. The dog in the original Richard Matheson novel is a different thing, and it's a very tragic, very heartbreaking element to the story. And it is in the Will Smith version. The dog does not feature in the Charlton Heston Omega Man version. But I really, whilst that big other review was uploading, I wanted to do something, and I hit upon the Omega Man, a film I love and adore, and yet not reviewed at all. Well, not on the channel, on YouTube. I've done it before for AV Forums and other publications. I've reviewed it a lot in the past, and I do adore it. The time will come when I do the big full review, but I just found, let's just get on this, because here you go. Listen to Ron Grainer, Doctor Who, The Prisoner. His compositions, his music is so 60s, 70s oriented, and yet it's so progressive. Electronics, weird jazzy elements, weird percussive elements, just going out there and doing really bizarre things. And in this score, one of his rare main movie scores, oh, sweet chili chicken, what has he come up with? This fucking awesome score. As a small child, this score and the film, watching it on TV, sitting on my mum's lap in the early 70s, watching this, it blew me. Listen to this. It's jazzy. There's a hippie element to it, but you've got this propulsive element, this elegiac element, this classical neo-gothic element to it. My God, it goes everywhere. It's like, how many tendrils can you have? All of them and more besides. Listen to it. Robert Neville, who is the Charlton Heston character, Robert Neville, who's the scientist, the soldier who has survived this plague and maybe holds the salvation of mankind against the mutants, the vampires, the whatever version you want. He has a theme which is noble, heroic, possibly more so in this incarnation than the other versions. He has his heroic theme, but it can be turned on its head and made into a music box version, a sad, somber version, an ecclesiastical version. But in this element here, he's been captured and he's been about to be sacrificed, but other humans who are still not succumbed to the plague, to turn him into mutants, find him and save him. And he's on a motorbike with Rosalind Cash, exploitation babe, and she's saying to him like, look, I can roll, but it's hard on the elbows. So you're gonna play James Bond, you know, I have to bust your ass. And he goes, all right, ma'am. And it's Charlton Heston. And then he roar off round, you know, the huge American football stadium. Through all the stadiums and the underneath parts. Listen to this. The theme comes in, kicks in. You've got the gongs, anvils, glockenspiel, xylophone, vibraphone, and this lovely plaintive motif. Can you hear? That's gorgeous, that. A lot of people didn't like this score, didn't like the film, and didn't like the film because of the score, which is so bizarre. The score is so... Listen to that. Vibraphone, waterphone as well. Listen to that. Bam, bam, bam. And you've got that reverb. This is the escape from the football stadium. And in the film, you've got... It's not Charlton Heston, it's a stuntman with a Charlton Heston wig on, which is a bit lamentable, but hey. And they go down the steps. Oh, listen to that. That glassy water reverb echo. Now there's a bit of modern fucking, you know, like... Just checking that Rawhead Rex review. It's still taking hours to do. Listen to this though. Heston made several great sci-fi movies. He did his biblicals, did all his biblicals, but Planet of the Apes, The Omega Man, Soylent Green. Jesus Christ, you know, this guy hit every base. All the biblical and sci-fi and horror. Christ, he was there. Listen to this. It's lovely 60s sort of feel. He meets the people who have so far survived, but they are succumbing gradually. So maybe his blood could be the thing that's going to save them and create a new society. And it's beautiful to behold this. Listen to what Ron Grainer does here. With folksy guitar, it slides and insinuates and like just makes it light, but there's real drop because there's still doom in there as well. I just love it. This score is such an incredible experience in its own right, just to listen to it, divorced from the visuals. Can you hear how that's turned? How that luxurious moments of hope and optimism kind of grinds slower. Maybe things won't be quite as rosy as we thought. That's brilliant, brilliant. But there's still hope. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's so well done. But for me, it's the action cues that really make this, and they are so incredibly weird. Now listen to this. 1971. You can feel that flower power theme which reached into movies and movie soundtracks. And then that's gorgeous, that emotional pitch that it reaches and then drops. This theme again. It's such a truly gorgeous score. Mutants on the streets every night. They can't come out during the day. He has to defend his penthouse. He's got his Roman busts, Imperator, and his sniper rifle, his night scope, and all that. He's got all this, but then he's happy, pretty much. I can defend myself, but then he meets others, and now all of a sudden my quest has changed. I can help these people. I've got to spread myself a bit wider. My defenses are weakened. I love this element to it. I love the fact that the end of the world and a guy who's got to persevere, fight back, and can do it and survive until he grows old and grey. But others who he can save, and that triggers humanity within him. Love that. It's incredibly emotive stuff. So sadly, the people that he meets will gradually succumb, some of them, to the plague, and well, not so much the plague, but the cult. This is the thing about the Omega Man version of this story. The Omega Man takes the cult aspect of it. That Matthias, Anthony Zerbe, who is a former friend and associate of Robert Neville, which is Charlton Heston's character, he has now changed. They're mutated, but join us. There's a little tribal element there. The drums are cultish, but it's not just that. Rosalind Cash, the young guy that also falls under the spell and gets sacrificed. They're black. Oh, here we go. Neville realises, Robert Neville, John Heston, realises, shit, where are people I've just befriended? What's happened? Something's gone wrong. I've got all the weapons, I've got everything here. Well, the early 70s. Nowadays, even I'm better armed than he was back then. On his Jeep, around the streets, and he'll find what's happened to the young kid that he was making a big difference to. His blood transfusions, and he could change their world and save them. Rosalind Cash, who was in love with him, the one who saved him, bust my ass for you, all that kind of stuff. And he finds that the lad's been sacrificed. Oh my God, he says, as he sees what's happened to him. And he's seeing back in his Jeep as he goes back, he's going back home. It's all gone wrong, everything's gone wrong. him finding the body of the kid who's been sacrificed and slain. And it's just horrible. It's just like, he goes through Matthias's place and finds him and says his throat's been cut. You're like, oh no way. But he kind of knew. If you watch the film, you kind of know that's Heston seeing the corpse. Cut to, he's in his Jeep, lights above the hood, above the roof, down the city streets. These fucking rogue bastards are coming out. They're throwing Molotov cocktails, they're doing all sorts. They're there. It's like, there's roadblocks. His Jeep overturns. He gets out, he throws explosives. He's got his submachine gun. Listen. This is an action scene. A music box. And it works. And walks off. It's this almost elegiac zombie-like reverence to carnage, and like, my life has been given over. It's so haunting. This music box is great. Goes back home, and Matthias is there. All the fucking mutants are all there waiting for him. Bastards! They're fucking bastards. And they've got him. They think they've got him. So, they've got, all throughout the entire film, they've been going like, Neville, come out. Neville, come out. Come out and we'll get you. You got nowhere to go, so you may as well come out and we'll get you. And then at the final sequence, they're all in his place. They've invaded his place. They've killed everybody he knows, and he's like, oh, it's fucking over. He comes back, and they're all there waiting for him. And it's like, and he gets put in his chair, and he's anchored there. And they're like, Neville, come in, Neville. Sounds strange, doesn't it? Come in, Neville. Because they've all been saying like, come out. And they're gonna like do him in. But he fights back. He fights back for a final flurry of incredible, just like, taking some of these guys down, submachine gun, get outside, and he finds Rosalind, Cash, come on! And they get to a fountain outside. Look, no, I can save you, because make it till dawn, because sunlight is about to rise, and these will all go and hide, so, we can do this, we can survive. She's like, but Robert, Robert, I can't do this. That's what she's saying to him. And he's like, come on. Damn it, it's jammed. And you've got Matthias, Anthony Zerbe on top of it. Here's Robert Neville's old parapet where he was like snipering all the mutants. He's there, and he finds the spear and lashes a spear down, and Charlton Heston gets falls brilliantly into this fountain. Manages to take it out. Lisa! He gasps to the poor girl. This is their escape now. Listen. Piano. horns, percussion, strings. It's beautiful. You can still make it to daylight. Don't worry. Oh! And he's like, oh no, and he manages to get the spear out and blood bursts out. He's like, oh. This is gonna play out now. Let's just play out to this awesome Ron Grainer music. There's muscle to that. Ecclesiastical. Organ music. Oh, and he falls back, but his blood has been saved, and the others arrive in daytime, and they get the blood, and the blood's going to save them, and it's a wonderfully well told story. The Omega Man, 1971, Charlton Heston, is absolutely incredible. I do love that movie, and Ron Grainer's score is so bizarre, so out there, so wacky, so weird, so exciting and dynamic, and yet muscular and haunting at the same time. God, you know. This was an interim video, so please, I'm gonna see you all. Know the score. Right.